All right, let's get this show on the road. A little bit of a different stream tonight. Just gonna be hanging out. Gonna be working on some of my stream stuff. You guys are gonna get a face full of Ahab here for a little bit. Hold on a second. That's something I want to work on right away. Go to here. So I can't put that there. But yeah, working on some stream stuff. Going to be playing some Shapes in just a bit. Shapes is a unique Factorio factory builder style game that's not big on resource control. It's more about functionality. So I saw some stuff on that. Yes, Lapone, you were first. Ew to you, Dent. Ew to you. Lapone, you were first. Taco, what kind of, I mean, you got like an aerosol can to the CO2 spray or whatever it is. And you didn't hear any of the intro music? Hold on. I know why. Thank you. The reason for that is because I was during yesterday's War Thunder stream. No, it was not just you. Yep, there it is. It's because of what I did with the trailer that I played at the beginning of yesterday's stream. It for some reason on the trailer scene, I have the intro music on there, and I need to get rid of it. That's really what it was. And in OBS, when you mute a source of something, it mutes it for every other scene in OBS. And there's ways to work around that. I just don't have it set up. But I have to... I need to do things... I need to change the way things look on TikTok before I go live on TikTok. So we're gonna chill here for a minute. I do have my ADEM going, so if you want to throw a flashbang at any time, Lapone, other people, please, by all means. Ice, how you doing tonight, man? Happy Saturday to you. I'm wondering if I can go in here and add a button. YouTube, ADEM. It doesn't look like... I guess there's no plugin for TikTok Studio yet in Stream Deck. Which... Isn't that kind of weird? Plugins. ADEM, YouTube. Haha. OBS Studio.
Throwing flashbang.
There we go. Love it. Love it.
Sector clear.
Hue by Philips, Twitch Tools, Streamlabs, Shadowplay, Advanced Launcher, Microsoft Teams. Ew. Voice meter stuff. PowerPoint, Stream Elements Live. Wait a second. Okay, no. There it is. I do have it. They do have it. Get. Oh, Jesus. I don't remember what that is. I don't think I've ever... That's ridiculous. I really don't feel like going through that right now. That's just something else I'm going to have to try later on. All right, so I'm going to close that. Save some resources. I'm happy to actually see that, Lapone. I don't get to see everything on my end in terms of stuff that works because of the way I have OBS Studio set up. So I'm glad to see that you said that it works in full face mode. Giggity. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Because I've seen tons of other videos that are not spooks that have the current iteration of it on the dev server just means you can't get those stupid shots that are like, you know, the cupola shots that really shouldn't happen, frankly. But also, let me be honest with you, Lapone. Every other shot, every other ammo type in the game fired by a main gun has been nerfed over the past 2 years. APHE has not. So it needs to be changed. It needs to be not necessarily nerfed, but it needs to be more behavioral in the way it behaves IRL so that it's more in line with the rest of the game. Because I got to be honest, it's a little ridiculous, if you ask me. If you consider the physics of the object as they've been described, that if you shoot a cupola, that it takes out the entire tank. In some tanks, that's a viable thing. In others, it's not. You know? I mean, look, it's Gaijin, it's War Thunder. They're going to drop the ball heavily, and then they're going to have to patch it a little bit, and then they'll get it fixed. That's the way it's going to be with every single sort of change of this type. You know? Just hide this goal there. Okay. Shapes 2 and Shapes 2 and Memoria Pulse on deck. Okay. Submit. All right, going live on TikTok. And there we go. Got to bring down this monstrosity of a chat box they have, which is kind of neat, but at the same time, kind of pain in the butt. Can't hear me? What do you mean you can't hear me? Dentonia, welcome to Master. Literally built into the ship. Not even a crew anymore, just built into the ship. Thanks very much. Hitman, what's going on? Think he means on TikTok? I don't see why. I don't see why. I think Den is just joshing. Den's got something going on. Hitman, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. I appreciate that. Good evening to you. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to everybody on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please remember to like the stream. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Helps out the content, etc. But also, since tonight is more of just kind of a hanging out stream, if you guys just want to talk about stuff, if you guys want to ask me questions that you wouldn't normally ask because I'm playing War Thunder or focused on War Thunder or something, throw them at me. I maintain the right to say an apology and say I'm not going to answer that, but ask away. Ask me questions. How's the family going? Family's going great. We had a good Saturday, man. My wife went over to my sister-in-law's to help her build a massive desk in her home office, so I hung out with the kids all day, and it's just incredible what watching two kids in their formative years like just come up with things to do after they're bored of the things that I've come up with, or they're bored of watching like, you know, a couple of episodes of a TV program we put on for a little bit because we're all, you know, bored of something. You know, it's lovely. No, not right now. Not right now, thankfully. Well, I mean, that's your reason, Dent. You're using Opera. Duh. I stopped using Opera like 20 years ago. The creativity is just Unreal. Doesn't even, it barely scrapes the surface. Barely scrapes the surface. Like, honestly, I can't even discuss it because some of that stuff is just so like so ad hoc, so random, you know, and you know they're entertained by it, and it's not like it's not wholesome because it's a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old playing together. It's wonderful. Happy Saturday, Dent, and thanks again for becoming a member of the master level stuff on YouTube. Appreciate that. Oh man, let me just take a couple of looks. Since I don't get a chance often to look at the back end of my operation over here. All right. All right. All right, so there's some things, some changes for rules I need to do on my ATEM. Oh, that's something else I wanted to do. Integrations. Let's just do that. There we go. That's something I have to do. Hitman, it really does throw me for a loop. Especially when, like, my 5-year-old starts using, not bad words, but just words that are much more common out of, you know, an adult's mouth. Because obviously they've picked it up from my wife and I talking, or just from people that she's been around. You know, like she was playing with this little doll that it's my youngest little doll, and my oldest was being a doctor. And my youngest is smart enough, 2.5 years old, to be like, hey, my baby's sick, is basically what she conveyed. And my oldest is like, oh no, she looks terrible. We have to get her right into the surgery and prep her for surgery. Like, it's not like we watch General Hospital or any, like, you know, serious hospital shows around her. Where did she hear that, you know? Cam42, thanks for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that. Coog, what's going on, buddy? From absolutely out of nowhere, bro. If you thought skiing was expensive, don't go into diving. Have to get dive cert for some parks and got hit by a dive bug hard. Oh my God. Funny story. Very relatable. Very relatable. Astro, what's going on? How are you? Happy Saturday. Exactly, Hitman. When did it turn into Grey's Anatomy with two little girls? It's just hilarious. Coog, when I was much younger, when I still lived under my parents' roof, we went to Florida, which we did occasionally for vacation. Crafty, how are you? And the place we were staying at had, like, they had a convention of PADI at the same place we were staying at, or it was something having to do with PADI, the dive organization, right? So they just had a bunch of specials going on because they had this thing going on. They're like, get certed in 2 days. I was like, okay. My dad was like, is that something you're interested in? I said, yeah. I love watching National Geographic. I love the idea of being able to go diving if we're going to keep going to places like this for vacation. So it was like, this was like when I was 14, 15. So, of course, in the pool, I passed the pool stuff with flying colors. And we go out for like the actual open water cert, right? The first level. And the gear that I got, the mouthpiece it wasn't a good seal. So every time I breathed in, there was basically salt water, like aerosolized salt water coming in. And I couldn't handle it. Like, I didn't notice it until we had gone under a couple of feet. Like, the first 5 feet were okay. And then as soon as we got deeper than that, it was just horrible. It was burning my throat. So I pointed at the dive master and, you know, I pointed to my equipment and I said, I got to go up. And he gave me the thumbs up and I went up. And the couple guys that were still on the boat, they asked me what's going on, and I got out of the boat and I couldn't go diving because none of the other equipment on the diving boat was working. So I didn't get my cert. And I was really, really pissed because, like, that's not something that... I wasn't a kid that, like, failed at things like that. And I felt like I failed. But anyway, so a couple hours later, we come back in, and after my sister was on the same... My sister was younger than me. Passed with flying colors. Had no issue. She still dives to this day occasionally. Was this the 1800s? Okay, Hitman. Okay. No, this was the 1990s. Might as well be the 1800s to some people. But it was stupid on their part. But the funny part about it, Coog, is... So I was 14, 15. At this point, I had been skiing competitively for 3 years. Right? And... I got back off the boat, and I got back to the hotel, and like I was kind of down, and my dad picked up on immediately, which kudos to him. And he goes, "Hey, Heb, I got to talk to you." He goes, "You can't go diving. Even if you got your cert today, you can't go diving." And I said, "What? Why?" And he goes, "Blake," which is my real name. He goes, "Blake, the winter gear, plus the skis, plus the boots, plus the bindings, plus the airfare doesn't even begin to cover some of the equipment you need for diving." And this is back in the 90s. And Google just sent me a refund because they tried to renew it. Oh. So, like, not only did I just not... I didn't go back. I just wasn't interested after that. Because honestly, the whole experience with the regulator having an issue like that it threw me off, just completely threw me off. It was just very funny because when it came to skiing, when it came to competitive skiing, when it came to doing that, there was never any issue. There was never any talk about money with my father. My father was the one who took me everywhere when I was competing. You know. Rarely did it ever come up that, like, we couldn't go to this particular race because of airfare. We had to go to this race because it was just less expensive, right? That was never an issue. It was just very funny to me. And it's very funny that you're saying that this many years later, and that's just still something that's in my mind. So thank you for bearing with me on the story. I appreciate that. And I see people dropping likes on TikTok. Thanks, guys, for that. I appreciate that. Let me minimize ADEM here. There we go. Posted the photo set in the Discord. I'm sorry, photo set of what? Took a set of photos of my 4-7 British lineup, Ahab. Okay, let me take a look. Let me take a look. Oh, got something in my throat. Goddamn frogs. Also, I will be doing, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be putting content together for lineup recommendations for all the different levels of War Thunder that I'm familiar with for all the tech trees. So that's a pretty solid looking lineup. Lapone. That Wyvern it's a nasty, nasty plane. All right, Hitman, have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping in to say hello. Have a great rest of your weekend, buddy. Coog, that's not for cave, that's not for like spelunking, cave diving, right? That's just for cold, fresh water? And that's before travel. 20 grand in training and kit before travel. Bro, that's nuts. Yes, Crafty, I remember that. You told me that last night. Astro said, I'm good, just finally woke up thanks to the stream note. Happy Saturday. You're just waking up at 11:30 p.m.? Astro. Like, I know it's a weekend, but like, are you in school? Like, don't you got to maintain that sleep schedule? Or are you sick? If you're sick, I apologize. No judgment. If you're not sick, full judgment. I'm looking down on you. No, I'm kidding. Nice, Crafty. Definitely do some training missions to learn how to play it. Oh, you're sick? Okay. All right, you're sick? I take it back. Doesn't matter about the other stuff you said in that line, which I'm not going to repeat. You're sick? That's enough for me. All of my classes, recreational setup, wet and dry suits and other gear, knife light. Yeah. Okay. Man, and that's not even cave diving. That's nuts, bro. That's nuts. Dan, that's really cool, dude. Like, that's something. That's Arma, though, right? That's a wise decision, Coog. No cave diving. No cave diving. No. Nataradoran Sigma. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I apologize on TikTok. Hello, how are you? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Wherever you are. I hope you're having a good one. I should show off my city? Oh, okay. I'll show off my city for a minute. I'll show off my city for a minute in City Skylines, too. And then we'll get into shapes, because I'm really curious about shapes. You guys are going to be bored as F about shapes, but this is something that's right up my alley, because I love Factorio. Not as huge of a fan into Satisfactory as I am Factorio, but Shapes is kind of like in between. There's other games out there that are similar to Factorio that I haven't looked into yet. But where am I from? I am from just outside Washington, D.C., United States. How about yourself? Oh! Lapone, you'll enjoy this. Kind of. Maybe some of you other folks in chat will enjoy this. I don't know how. I have no idea how. But TikTok started feeding me videos of... oh, God, what is it called? What are they called? Hold on. VTuber. TikTok started feeding me videos of VTubers. I don't know how. I don't know what I liked. I don't know what I watched to give them the idea that I would enjoy VTuber content. But Are there any male VTuber guy out there? I'm not like I'm asking out of pure curiosity. I'm not throwing judgment or shame or anything in any direction with this question. Are there any male VTubers out there with male characters? Okay. Okay, so there are male VTubers. Okay. I am wholly unfamiliar. Like, I know what VTubing is, but I'm just wholly unfamiliar with that side of content creation. Like, I've seen, you know, shorts and TikToks and Instagram reels of them before, but I've never, like, been in one way forced, like TikTok has, to dive down that rabbit hole. And because of TikTok, I have gone down the rabbit hole now a little bit. You've seen more males than females, actually? Let me just throw this out there, Astro. And again, I'm asking because I'm curious. Is that because you yourself are female and you're looking for the other side of VTubing? Or is that just what your searches have shown you? Again, pure curiosity here. I'm not trying to throw shade. This is completely innocent. Like, educate Ahab time instead of Ahab educating you. Lapone. Cougar, are you familiar with what VTubing is? Or at least the general premise of it? But anyway, so Lapone, the reason I bring it up, and Dent and other folks, the reason I bring it up is just because I've seen you guys talk about it in chat before. And it's weird that I don't remember how long ago it was you guys were talking about a specific one. I don't remember the name of the one you were talking about back then, but it's just weird that all of a sudden TikTok's like, here's content we think you're going to enjoy. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. The back and forth, the social aspect of what a lot of these VTubers of the content that I'm getting fed on TikTok, it's entertaining. And I'm not going to make any comments about the characters that these folks use for their VTubing. That's neither here nor there. Actually, okay. Yeah, Astro, I wasn't trying to, like, steer you in a direction. I was just trying to understand if there was any sort of selective choice, biased selective choice that maybe you weren't aware of or something. Again, not throwing shade, no judgment for me. And certainly this is a safe space here. And thank you for sharing that about yourself. The City Skylines 2 launcher looks off at the moment. You're trying to figure out the axis in War Thunder right now. It's hell. What do you mean by that, Crafty? I'm happy to help. Okay, Astro, whatever you prefer. You let me know. Happy to steer in whatever direction you want me to. But yeah, anyway, so the content that TikTok has been steering me to is like the vast majority of it is the hell's her name? Or I don't know if it's a her. The V2 character that she has is a she. And I haven't dove deep enough to fully understand what's going on, but Billion? I don't know if you're familiar with that name. And I don't know why. That's literally TikTok. The one TikTok's like, here. No, Lapone. Hold on. What was I doing? Oh, that's right. I was building a college town. Hey, Sky, what's going on? Good evening. Happy Saturday to you. All right, so let me see here. All right, it looks like I'm in my main screen here. Stemps asked me to show off my city a little bit and City Skylines too. So I will say, since launch day, they've done a lot of work to well, apparently they patched something because I am losing. Oh, maybe there's tons of homeless people getting moved out right now. Hold on, let me go to a park. Yes, there's homeless people getting moved out of the city right now. That's why I'm seeing that. Okay, so so let me just go back. So it's Philly and Lapone. It's that the one you just said. It's the one that Sniper said is a great one. Yes, and the clips that TikTok has fed me of Phillian is an absolute fireball energy. Like, that energy level is something I could never, ever provide in content with that much regularity. Stam, she over here mad that I'm talking to chat and she's going to show up. Gosh. All right, so let's talk quickly about City Skylines, and then we're going to get into shapes for a little bit. So City Skylines is still a work in progress, in my opinion, from release at this point. I want to say 6-8 months ago, but it's certainly better than it used to be. And now they have mods enabled, and the mods make the game really, 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 really enjoyable. I feel like I'm not getting fed something here by TikTok, but I am still live according to Studio. But so this is really the first city that I've organized in a way that I'm happy with. As Stemps and I were joking about the other day on a voice chat, like, there's so many times I actually started this particular map, this particular city, and restarted. I think I restarted this particular map 6 times before I, expanded enough to have what you guys see here. So the map, this particular map starts you in this area right here. And it's even changed since I started. But the biggest thing about this map, and for me, the biggest thing about playing City Skylines is, what are the prevailing winds? So that you can plot where industry is. But anyway, quick run through. This is what I call the old town here. This is where all the first residential and first industry was built here. The big thing in City Skylines 2, to make any money, you have to use specialized industry, which is not zonable industry, but it's zonable in a way that is specific to specific resources. So, like, for example, on this map, you can see there's tons of resources, right? And so here is some mining, here is some oil, here's some farmland, here's a lot more farmland. It's these industries that give you a lot of the product you need to make a lot of money in this game very early on and really set you up for good stuff. I have kind of like a experimental low income area here with, this is all lower income housing. And that's actually a zone in the game you can use. This was an experiment early on with more dense zoning. And I'm having to expand that into the Old Town area of housing down here so that I can make more homes closer to the industry here. It's kind of interesting just how much real world and the video game comes to like cross over. Yeah, Lapone, just some of the stuff I've seen has been very detailed. And Dent, I haven't watched that clip yet, but I will. And I reiterate, I'm intrigued. All the time, it should be a country builder, not cities. I'm not too pleased with the starting place on this map, but the map itself I do like. Yes, that's what it is. Just in case, thanks very much for liking the TikTok live stream. I appreciate that. So, here's how this build went. I started in here. I expanded over here. I expanded kind of up here and along into these farm and houses here. Then I built this bridge. Oh, no, sorry. Built this industry down here. Built all this stuff here for mining. Built the oil rig stuff here. And then I built this bridge here and started what I was considering at first a little farming town, but you can see how it's just expanded and gotten huge as well. I'm in the process of starting a college town, so I have a technical university up here. And then with the road editor, they have a new mod that just got released in August. Called Road Builder, and you can pretty much customize your roads to an endless level. It's incredible what it is. It's incredible. Emil, go on to me. Hope you're doing well, buddy. So what I've done is I've kind of taken a 6-lane road and made it 2 lanes in each direction with parking. So this is going to kind of be like a big college town up here, and all along here is going to be like commercial and everything, and then there's going to be houses all around here. This is City Skylines 2, Emil. Not playing War Thunder tonight, I'm sorry. So, anyway, made the farming community. It was much smaller at first, and I really did fill in all of these farms because we needed a lot of this stuff here. And then I wanted to have freight shipping. So I started this down here, this kind of like mini city. I was planning to have more industry down here, but it just hasn't expanded in that way organically. Really, the way shipping is handled at the moment has limited me to only 2 routes. And I wanted to put another set of docks somewhere over here. But that just hasn't really fit in yet. And then once I had that in place, I put in some freight rail, which you can see is connected here. You can see there's a train here at the docks. And there's there's a handful of freight stations throughout the map, with close proximity to industry, like here. This one is close to the farms. And then there's one over here for the industry in the farm town, and then it's going to serve this. This is all up here. This is all lumber. You wish it was easier to make key wall roads. Do I have a trick for that? I do not have a trick for that. Honestly, when it comes to key walls, my recommendation is just go watch any of City Planner Play's recent videos about the Road Builder mod. Because he doesn't go directly in depth into key walls. But like I can't. I can't for some reason. Hold on a second. Let's just try this. Like, let's go. Let's just do this. We're gonna put some road just straight here, right? And then go into here. Elevated retaining wall key. Here we go. Yeah, I mean it did something, but it also didn't do something, right? Let me see if I can get this like any closer. Jesse Bostwick, thanks very much for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that. Yeah, like it's not like it used to be. You can't just paint it, I don't think, right? I am horrible when it comes to the key walls in this version. Because it used to be something that you could paint. Whoa. Apparently I added a mod that gives me a lot of things. A lot of things. Yeah, I'm horrible at that. So, going back to my city summary, made a bunch of freight rail connections in the city and then also outside. And then I set up passenger rail. And passenger rail is... Are one-way grids effective? You know, it's a great question, Jesse. Yes and no. Yes and no. I have them somewhere. Hold on. I just got to find them. There we go. So, yes, in these areas where I have some high rises and some other dense roads. And where else do I have them? I have them here. I have them here. They manage traffic pretty well because it's not very dense. And it's a good way to kind of speed things along and get a little bit more traffic capacity. And the reason I wanted to have linear traffic here, one ways here, is because originally this side road at the ports all led back down to the port to come down to this stretch of highway right here to take them wherever they needed to go. But that quickly led to all sorts of backups and recirculating traffic back up in here. And you can see there's enough of a traffic issue with traffic coming in here. So I made this a 3 lanes down to the port and 2 lanes back out. But this part of town is one of the least traffic inundated sections of the whole map. But I mean, I would say, Jesse, yes, they're effective as long as you stick to the same grid in enough of a section to make it effective. It can't be small. It can't be too small because no, Gavin, it's not War Thunder. And I don't have War Thunder listed on my TikTok stream, by the way. Like, for example, here is a small one-way grid. These streets right here, this little section that I've fit in between these rail connections. The one-way streets are not really effective here because it's so dense in here. And actually, one thing I did with this spot was I had high density all through here, and it was the worst mistake I've made in the game in terms of livability and trafficability. This was so sought after to live here, it was nuts. And like when I went to medium density, except for the offices, I left the offices high density. When I went to medium density, my population dropped like 60,000. That's how many freaking people were living in here in high density. So, in a very limited capacity, it can actually inhibit your city from being productive. But if you have it a large enough expansion and you have enough ingress and egress routes, it can be very effective. So after the freight rails and the passenger rails went in, I said, you know what, let's expand to an airport. And I'm not one to just I don't like the idea of putting in a mid-level airport, so I went full international airport. And let me say this. These are great all-in-one pieces. This is a solid-looking international airport model that's all-in-one. When I say all-in-one, it's ploppable. The whole thing's ploppable. Just like, for example, this college campus for a technical college, that's not bad. It's big, because a college needs to be big. And it looks like a technical college. But coming from City Skylines 1 that had the airport expansions, that had the university expansion packs, I feel shortchanged with this game that I have to deal with this at that point. Especially with how buggy the game still is. It really should have been more content rich at launch. And I feel like they rushed the launch, personally. But anyway, so I put in the airport and the supporting city, and I'm experimenting with property control here with this industrial here, right by the runway. And then you can see, like, I'm kind of, in my mind, I'm buzzing a little bit semi-realistically, like, directly in front of and after a runway, you really wouldn't have industrial buildings with smoke towers like this. Right? So, and then, so to expand on that thought, I'm struggling with what to put here, because I don't want to put residential here. That's a little weird. I've got tons of residential next to the runway, which I'm comfortable with, and I've seen in many places around the country, United States. All right, Emil, have a good one, man. Take care. You're back with brownies. Yeah, Stamps, to get back to what you were saying about that, City Planner makes everything about City Skylines look easy. He really does. He really, really does. Cheez-Its and cookies, or the last of my cheesecake. Ooh, some good snacks we're talking about here, folks. Okay. So my one big gripe, and people post memes about it on the Reddit, the subreddit all the time, is the traffic in this game. Is just this. This person just went across all 3 lanes to get in the right turn only lane. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't happen in real life, but the amount of people doing it and the amount of backup that happens in this game is frustrating. Like, I'm all for a simulator, but please don't make it like that. Razor Wings, this is called City Skylines. No, Jesse, it's not just you. Not just you. Because look, I try to maintain, based on City Planner plays, I try to maintain road hierarchy as much as I can, right? So this highway, which, mind you, has a single exit, dumps onto a 6-lane road. I have this light strictly controlled. 1 lane going left, 1 lane going forward to all 3 lanes, and another lane going right. Traffic. Traffic is just a part of this game, and like I used to... Oh, there's a tornado going through my city. Tornado going through the city, folks. Anyway, I used to pride myself... you're welcome, Razor. I used to pride myself in City Skylines 1. I traffic busted like a mofo. I could figure out City Skylines 1 with the help of Traffic Manager President's Edition. Like, I prided myself on taking care of stuff like that. Wow. A lot of these buildings didn't actually get destroyed by the tornado. I'm surprised. I gotta come in here and destroy this stuff so they can rebuild. Not a lot of damage there from that tornado. Really surprised and thankful, honestly. So yeah, it's not just you, Jesse Bostwick on TikTok. It's not just you. Like, look at the traffic. Look at the traffic. There's nothing here, right? And then boom. Multiple mile long backup. Because everybody and their mother can't plan their lane change appropriately here to get off on this street and then to go left here. Like the routing that AI traffic takes is beyond idiotic. Beyond idiotic. And like, for example, so this road, this 6-lane road right here with the divider in the middle is a higher speed road than a 6-lane road without a divider in the middle, without a median in the middle. Okay? So what I have specifically done is I have specifically made... Oh, actually, take it back. Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay, hopefully that helps. I have specifically made road hierarchy so that all these people getting off on this exit here to do this single left-hand turn lane onto a slow 4-lane road, they shouldn't be doing that. They should be coming up here to this intersection to go where they need to go. Also, to be fair, I have made a bypass for the whole city that no one takes anymore. When I first opened up this bypass to get all the way up in here, it was blocked frequently. So, yeah. Do you think War Thunder will ever add the Bismarck to the German naval fleet? Bismarck's already in the game. At least the class of ships is. I know, the game does love roundabouts. 6-lane, one-way, and gave no relief. That does not surprise me. Ryan 361256, thanks for the follow on TikTok, and thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. Yeah, so like here's what I did. I had a roundabout here, Stemps. I had a roundabout here, and it did nothing but block in the primary direction of traffic, which was here and here. So what I did was I made bypasses. I made an intersection here. And in this intersection, you can only go straight or make a left. If you need to make a right, it has the cutoffs. And this only works with the lane connector tool. That is a mod. You have to go in and make sure that these don't all connect, because you'll have people make this right turn here and then come down here, make a left, and then make another right. Or they'll come make a right here and go straight across to this lane. It's the automatic lane connections in the game is not so smart. Astro, in City Skylines 1, before Traffic Manager President's Edition, that was the fix for traffic, was putting roundabouts pretty much everywhere. Like my go-to, let me build you my go-to highway intersection that I did in City Skylines 1. My go-to intersection was something like this for highways. And it was so ugly, but it worked so well. I'm going to cheat just a little bit. Road required. Okay. Let me see if I can figure this out here. Oh, let me take that off. So what I ended up doing was, I'm not going to use the roundabout tool. what I did was this. 120. What's the distance on this? 120. 104, 120. I didn't even care if it was perfectly straight with the highway. All right. Get ready for this. So I made, quite literally, manual roundabouts like this. Okay. And then they would be outward. They would be basically like traffic would flow in to out. Okay. So if I wanted like a local road to intersect with this, just give an example here. I need to go up to 20 meters because this is the way I did it. So the highways would be on the ground or underground in a way. I would have a circle, like a large traffic circle, and then this would be the local road, whatever it was, over that, right? So the highways would have an exit ramp that would go something like this. All right. So they would get off the highways and go onto the inside of the circle. Similarly, I would take a an exit off of the local road and do this. Remember, like I said, inside out, right? Just for time's sake, I'm just not going to do that, right? So the highway would come off there. Highway would then also, there would be an exit for the highway there, like that. Anyway, you guys get it. From here, it would go up. It was a little bit more elegant in that I tried to minimize the amount of intersections to one on each side of the local road. But yeah, this is how I minimize traffic. And so basically, the people in my towns would literally they would spend half a day in a traffic circle going around it. Not because of traffic, but because that's how big those traffic circles were. Yes, Astro, it's cursed. But it was so functional in addressing traffic flow in City Skylines 1 before Traffic Management President's Edition. But like what's really funny about it though is if you go into the pre-made intersections in this game, there's some things that are very close to it. That is a much more elegant and smaller, less capable version of what I just did. Right? Similar to the roundabout there. Literal roundabout interchange. Boom. Much more elegant. But there's no room for expansion there, right? Esta aplicación es City Skylines 2. No sé el nombre de este partido en español, lo siento. yes, mass transit can have a huge impact in city skylines too. I will say it is something that they've done a better job at modeling, or at least having the ability to affect traffic. I don't have much of a mass transit system in place for this city, and my buses, I have 17 bus lines and I'm getting 90,000 people a month using them. I have one train line, and that's because of the way I have the trains. It's literally point to point, and it stops at every train station forward and back. I got 36,000 people riding them. Right? I don't have trams because I haven't been able to fit them in. I'm modeling a road. So the way I've modeled my road structure here in the city is I minimize the amount of connections the 6-lane roads have. And then I use the 4-lane roads as the sub-connectors to the 2-lane roads, right? So the 4-lane roads have... 2-lane roads have more connections than the 4 lanes. 4 lanes have more connections than the 6 lanes. And of course, 6 lanes have more connections than highways, right? So I am in the middle of designing a road in Road Builder that is the same width as a normal 6-lane road with a tram. Here, this is what it's going to look like. Let me find some open space. This is a completely custom road in the Road Builder program that I've made. You can have the tram going down the middle of the road, but the stops are a little bit scuffed. So I've put the tram on the outside just so that you can have the stops in a way that doesn't really affect other traffic too much. So that fits. I've edited that enough that it fits in a normal 6-lane road. So does banning cars make that much of a difference? I haven't tried banning cars, Jesse, so I can't tell. I don't know about that. DJ Montalbano. I'm just going off of a wine that I know, so I apologize if I mispronounce that, DJ. This is called City Skylines 2, an insanely amazing video game. A lot of people will tell you that it's quite buggy in its current iteration, even though it's been released for a couple of months, but it took them years to get City Skylines 1 to a point where everybody sung it praises endlessly. So I expect the same for this. So. And good evening to you, DJ. I hope you're having a good Saturday. I mean, the mods, Stemps, the mods are built in now. Paradox mods right into the menu. There's no reason not to get involved in modding, or at least in using mods. Ah, okay. That explains it more. Thank you. Isn't City Skylines 1 on console? I think it is. So here's something I think some of you guys who play who play this style of game would find interesting. If you look at this residential zone here, right? You see how all these houses are literally right on one another? And the fencing is literally it's what you call in the real world zero lot line. So that the lot line is right up against one another. There's no spacing, right? This is the way... Oh my god, look how many people are waiting for this bus. Holy cow. Anyway, this is the way a stock residential zone will zone out. Meaning, if I just plop residential zoning down, that's the way it fills up the residential zone. It's called Divoom, D-I-V-O-O-M. You can get it on Amazon. When I bought it, it was like 125 bucks. I think it's like up to 150 bucks or maybe 200 bucks now. It's great. Comes with you need an app to use it. That's the 64 by 64, I believe. I appreciate the compliment. I highly recommend it. Now going back to what I was talking about with zoning. I manually put in this neighborhood and these two neighborhoods here, every individual plot that you see. And then I went back and I put trees in. With the tree zoning with this tool right here. Specifically place multiple, and then you can tell it to, once I select a tree, you can use varying ages, so it drops different ages. This will burn forward. Thanks for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that. You're welcome, DJ. But I feel like even though it is like time consuming to put every single one of these individual housing lots down, it looks a little bit neater than like what you would see. This is what I see in like densely packed areas of like cities in United States. But I feel like if you're trying to get a little bit of a suburban aspect, like this is a little bit more geared towards what that is, right? And I've kind of done the same thing here, where in the farming town, I let a farming town get as dense as it wanted to with lower end housing over here. But as I got closer to the rail station, I packed it in and I fixed the direction by not putting a zone on the last end here. These here too. So. Reaper, what's going on? Thanks for the follow. What game is this? Legal. Can't say that other part of your name. Legal. This is City Skylines 2. City Skylines 2. The reason I don't have it specified in my TikTok live stream is because I'm going to be jumping to a couple other games during the stream tonight, and I didn't want to lock it down to one game, having people expecting one and not seeing the one that I had locked in on the stream. Pistol Pete, thanks very much for the follow on TikTok. And Reaper, I don't know if I said thanks for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that. City Skylines 2 is a very dynamic city building game. And if you want a really great example of what this game can do and what the previous version City Skylines 1 can do, check out City Planner Plays on YouTube. Rubber Duck on YouTube says, such a handsome stream with a handsome Ahab. Rubber Duck, tip of the internet hat to you for the compliment. Buddy, how you been? It's good to see you. Happy Saturday, man. It is on console. It's just a little buggy sometimes, and the controls are sketchy. Yeah, I could feel that. Let me say this. If my monster of a workstation still has bugs, I can't imagine what the bugs do to a console. Excuse me. But see, here's a bug with this game, right? The chirper, which is like how you kind of figure out what the people are saying about your city. Jennifer Erickson says, the smog is unbearable. Jennifer, you're on a train in the middle of nowhere. What are you talking about? Where's your residence? Okay, so she's taking the train. Okay, so she's taking the train to this stop, and then she's maybe taking a bus or walking. Cool. Actually, I would like to see that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back to her. I want to see what her trip is. Let's speed this up a little bit to see what her trip is. Hey, Garrett, how you doing? Justin, yes, City Skylines 2. She typed that S out earlier and forgot to send it, says King Roop. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Turns out Jennifer's just in the smoking car. Nice, Rubber Duck. All right, I want to see how Jennifer gets home here because she's a couple blocks away from the train station. All right, so she's... Oh my god, all those people that just got off that bus. Bro. Yeah, so she's taking the bus. Okay. I wonder what bus line she takes. I don't know which one she's waiting for here.
This is an emergency broadcast.
Uh-oh, there's a fire somewhere.
Increasing areas of forest.
This is just Big Brother Sim now. Justin, thanks for the follow on TikTok. Appreciate that.
Citizens are advised to vacate any premises near the fires.
No, Rubber Duck, you know what? You know what Big Brother is? Big Brother is Sims. The Sims, like 4. All the stuff you can do in that game, that's Big Brother, my friend. Unless you're talking about, like, the Dude. Jennifer, you're tall. All right, so she's on the yellow line bus. Look, Helen Chambers is talking about smog. Hold on. We'll go check out Helen Chambers in a second as well.
That was truly superb.
All right, so there we go. An example of somebody was asking me about how effective buses and mass transit are. Boom, there we go. Great example of one of the 90,000 people taking a bus in my city a month. All right, so she'll probably get off. Oh no, she's over the next couple of blocks. She gonna get off here and walk? Oh. I've actually never done this. I've never followed an individual in City Skylines 1 or City Skylines 2 to this depth.
Thanks, Jim. We'll be back.
Stephen Price says, you look a little bit like that Destiny creator. Sorry if that's regrettable. I have no comment as to whether that's regrettable or not. So, your apologies aren't necessary. Are there any game settings you know that boost performance? I didn't care about graphics, but I just want to... You probably just want to say you want to play the game. There are some great write-ups or some great YouTube how-tos to get your graphics to a point where you can play it well. I would say, Garrett, look up City Planner Plays' stuff from when the game first came out. I'm still using pretty much the settings that I took from his videos, kind of tuned to my system, and the game runs great. I've got almost 300,000 people in this city, and, you know, tons of stuff going on, so... So she lives somewhere over here, so we should be seeing her get off soon. Con Brits, thanks very much for the likes. Appreciate that. I don't remember if this route takes a left here and then goes back. All right, so she walks the rest of the way. And I'm just going to speed to her house. Her house is over here. So she got off... Actually got off the bus pretty close. She's literally right... She got off right by this big building, and she just walks right down the block. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Definitely look at those. They're from when City Skylines 2, kind of for a couple months after it came out. He put some stuff together. All right, so I just want to point out to you guys, I was commenting on that as kind of being a bug, right? The smog thing, because look at this. Ready? Here's my air pollution map. Orange is bad. Blue is good. TikTok can't see the average air pollution, but let me just tell you, it's low. My thing says 0%, right? And that's because I held my map strictly building-wise so that the prevailing winds would keep pollution away from my population, right? Like, look at this. The air pollution, when I built all this stuff down here, I made sure that I built a little dirt road to show me where the air pollution was so I could stay outside of that. All the air pollution, all that stuff that would create smog for the city is not in the city. My city up here literally has effectively zero air pollution. So the fact that they talk about smog up here is just ridiculous. However, if they're on a train and they're going through this area here, right? Then yeah, they're going to get hit with smog for like a couple seconds of their transportation run. No, I have not checked out the Manor Lords yet. Dan, what do you mean by Clyde? You're doing 1984, just literally watching a citizen and why complain about smog and glorious Ahab Nova. Yes, Robert. But the funny thing about this game is that it's the complaints that come through on the chirper are buggy. They're very, very buggy. Like some of them are legit. Like this city has the most amazing internet connection. You damn right it does, because I'm a nerd. And if I didn't live in a city that had a bad if I didn't make a city that had a bad internet connection, I mean, I would. It's all green. Look at that. I haven't forgotten about shapes. I'm going to get into shapes in a second. My issue is they always complain about garbage. So garbage is, David, the problem with garbage in City Skylines 2 is that it is at the mercy of traffic, and traffic is borderline manageable at this point in time. So what I highly recommend you do is once you get into a point where your city has tons of income, like right now I'm making 421,000 credits an hour and I've got a bankroll of 64 million, it just keeps going up. Make zones. Divide your city into zones and limit. I literally have, now that I have so much money, I have an incineration plant or recycling plant specifically for each zone. Just so it doesn't, the trash trucks don't have to deal with traffic and go too far. Right? So like, where is it? So this plant only handles, I have 3 incineration plants for this part city here. And then 1 incineration plant covers Deer Park, which is the experiment I'm doing up here. Another one, and then another recycling plant does the farming town up here. I have an incineration plant specifically for the airport area, this whole area here. I have an incineration plant specifically for this area too. And then I also have, way up here, I have a industrial waste processing facility that I don't have limited. Because it has 250 trucks, I let it go wherever it's needed. Sebastian, this is City Skylines 2. Am I a city planner? No, I'm not. I'm 43 years old. One of my first games that I used to play was SimCity. I've just loved city builders throughout my life. But then also, I love watching city planner plays on YouTube. He is a legitimate city planner and has explained so much about planning cities in life that I've just used so much of what he's gone into. Because I'm a nerd. Yes. I mean, I got to put that on a shirt because I am a nerd. Like, what? I appreciate that, Jacob. Thank you. I try to make it look nice-ish and you know, appealing. But, you know, Jacob, so I can do recycling instead of a plant to keep pollution down. You can, but you will never, with the recycling plants, you will never effectively meet your garbage processing. Recycling plants won't handle enough processing for big cities. Even if you use low density everywhere, the recycling plants won't keep up. You have to put incineration plants somewhere. And then eventually at least put 1 industrial waste processing site down, because that's crazy. Justin, I have Manor Lords. I played it in early access. I love it. I have not played it since they just released all that cool stuff. I haven't had a chance to get back into it. I love Manor Lords. It's a great game. Great game. Just a cat butt with a caption. I'm a nerd. You know what? That's a great idea. I'm writing it down. Done. Jacob Mitchell on TikTok. John Jacoby. This is City Skylines 2. Jacob Mitchell on TikTok. You said your city looks better than some real ones I've been in. Here's a funny thing about real life as compared to a video game. I work in commercial real estate as my 9-to-5 job. I can tell you, because of all the jurisdictions that I work in, and how different all the different jurisdictions and all the cities and towns are. There's reasons why some cities look great and are appealing, and other cities aren't, or other towns aren't. And that all has to do with how the cities manage themselves and the zoning regulations that are in place in those cities and jurisdictions. I manage properties that are in jurisdictions where, yes, they have zoning, but there's really no care in where they put commercial zoning. So if there's a huge neighborhood and there's a wide open field of like 40 acres in the middle of a neighborhood, they'll say, yeah, we're going to put a lot of commercial right there. And then the same jurisdiction will say, hey, there's another open field 2 miles away. Let's put a lot more commercial right there. Like they don't care. There's not really any consideration to competition, or does that neighborhood really need 40 restaurants when there's only 1,000 people that live in a couple mile radius? You know, there's jurisdictions out there that just say, this is a city, it needs to be dense. All we're doing is high rises, and that's that, right? And in some cases, that's what they have to do. Like New York, you can't not be dense, right? But you know, cities in the Midwest like Houston and Dallas, with exception to certain areas of those cities, they don't need to be vertical. There's so much space out there that they can expand and use, right? So, Anthony Brown, City Skylines 2. Daft Duck on YouTube asks, what do you think of the ways the farm buildings are plopped out there when you zone the farm? Here's my problem with the zoning, right? My problem with the zoned industry, the special use stuff, is I'm kind of a min-maxer. So if one building takes up that whole plot, that's the way I did it, right? I thought that's the way it had to be in order to be as profitable and as efficient and to get a high enough level, right? But you don't have to. I don't necessarily have a problem with the farms doing this. It's kind of jank, and it's not visually appealing, but I don't have a problem because there's other things in the game that I wish they had fixed before they adjust this. You know, that's my comment on that, Daft.
A driving advisory has been issued for the immediate.
Why do you say that, Coog? What's the problem with me saying that?
Exercise caution if you must drive.
Are they considered the South? Am I making a mistake on that?
This has been
Because I want to be honest.
service announcement.
Let's be brutally honest here. To me, to someone from the East Coast, who's I've lived outside of Washington, D.C. most of my life, which is a gigantic suburbia. I've lived just outside of New York City for most of my college years. I spent a lot of time in New York City. I spent a lot of time in Boston, Chicago. I spent time in the big American cities. The cities in the Midwest that are in the traditional Midwest, right? Like in Iowa and Kansas and Oklahoma,
I'd never get
They're not cities. I'm sorry.
Industry in the region
I'm
is
sorry.
on the rise, and when business is doing well, that floats our boat.
There's no sinking this boat, Glenda.
Fine. Midwest City, Minneapolis. Chicago-ish. Texas is Texas. That's another way to put that. You're absolutely right, guys. All right. Let me go to full face cam because I want to switch games here. I'm going to switch to a game called Shapes 2. Now, fair warning, everybody. I haven't played Shapes 2 yet. I literally just installed it last night. I like city builder games. My original computing game addiction was Civilization. Anyway, that's going back a long time. But my current enjoyment, the games I currently enjoy, are all over the place. But one genre of games I love, and specifically one game I love, is Factorio. And for those of you who know what Factorio is, something's going on here. It's not launching. We'll see how it goes here in a second. Factorio, I have built so many mega bases in my time in Factorio that, like, to me, other games are a break from Factorio. And the only reason I'm not playing Factorio right now is because I finished a mega base a couple of months ago, and I'm waiting for the update to come out in November. Factorio is beautiful. Factorio is such an amazing game. To me, it just shows... It is the epitome of what an indie designer can do in games. So, yeah. This is similar to Factorio. But it's not limited... As far as I'm aware of, you're not limited by resources. You're limited by... I don't mind sending data. Graphics quality. I'm going to go extreme. Duh. So, hi there. Thank you for supporting us with your early access release. We put a lot of effort into the game, and we did our best to make it ideally feel like a finished product. If something doesn't work, please let us know. Of course. So, Shapes is similar to Factorio in that you've got to build a massive factory. But where it differs is that it's not really resource management, it's product management. From what I've it's on sale right now. I think it's like $31 or $27. So, like I said, have not played it yet. Literally, this is the first time I've played it right now. So, I apologize for a ham live stream. I'm going to leave it on normal. Yeah, I'm going to leave it on normal. I'm going to change the seed a couple of times because that's just what I do in these sort of situations. All right. And we haven't played this yet, so we can't do anything except operator certification. So here we go. Pretty much playing the how-to. All right. Welcome to certification. Thank you for signing up. You did sign up, right? Either way, the Vortex requires us to evaluate your factory operator skills before issuing your certification. Simply deliver the requested shapes as efficiently as possible. That's it. We might reward you with new upgrades and technologies based on your performance. And you can have as many buildings as you want. Please don't damage them. We still need them for the next participant. Okay. I will strive for efficiency, and I will not damage buildings. Okay, so extractor. All right. All right. Conveyor belt. Got it. Oh. Place anchors with C while dragging a belt. Okay. So I'm going to go... Oop, wait, what? All right, I'm just going to drag this right over here because that's where it has to get delivered into this vortex thing. I know that much from watching other videos. And you know what? Just to speed it up, so I've watched a couple of videos about this game. Oops. So I know that this early conveyor belt can take about 3 extractors. We're just going to take this right on over and... boom. All right, so... I've already done that. Oh. Move the camera. Okay, moving the camera. Great. Place anchors with C while dragging the belt. Okay, cool. Open the knowledge panel to review past instructions. Okay. Welcome. Shapes. Shapes are composed of smaller sections known as quarters. They can be separated and reorganized. So this is where the game gets complicated, where like it asks you to deliver certain shapes and you got to figure out how to make them. This is a cool aspect of the game. Camera navigation, basic control. Okay. All right. So okay, so they don't actually want, unless we've already filled them up, they want cutters. You need multiple buildings per belt. The amount is shown in the top right. So you need 3 for this original one. All right. Cool. Okay. All right, so we got that going on. I get the anchors. Oh, now it wants me to extract. Hold on a second. I want to. I don't like doing anything by half. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take this, and then we're gonna do that. All right, so just so you guys can see here, it's taking the extractors are having a full plate, so to speak, 4 quarters. Then it's coming into the cutter, and the cutter gets rid of half of it, and we got to deliver 40 of the half plates. So that's what we're doing right now. And then now it wants me to extract some full squares. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to take... and we're just going to take these right over and go launch them right in. Okay. Then we're going to go... all right, I get the anchor thing now. That's neat. I like that. All right, so now we're just going to be launching a whole bunch of squares. All right, so now they want me to do quarters, which I got to come back here. And I got to do a whole nother... I got to do another rotation. And then cut it. Oh, okay, I get it. So we got to do rotate, 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 cut. And then I got to put in that. All right. So it gets rotated and it gets cut. Cool. All right. The vortex accepts any shape. All right, so now I got to do the same thing over here, basically. I got to put in a couple of cutting mechanisms. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go like that, like that, like that, and like that. So it's Factorio in a 3D world without resources. All right. Yes. Send those shapes into the vortex wherever they go. And now we're just waiting for the half squares, the rectangles, to catch up to the other side. Satisfactory is a legitimate first-person 3D world version of Factorio, is the way I view it. All right, milestone completed. Unlock your reward in the milestone interface. Okay, unlock 1. Stacker and second floor. Okay, so it looks like you take one. A stacker basically takes one thing and drops it on another. Cutter, trash, 90-degree rotator, cool. A swapper. So now we got to do. Interesting. Game's already getting complicated for my brain this late at night. So we got to stack. Looks like we got to stack a full circle and another circle. We got to stack multiple squares on squares. And then we got to take a rectangle. Jesus. Okay. All right. Let's see how this is going to go. Oh, so they don't even want that yet. They don't even want that yet. Okay. Stackers are slow, so always place multiples of them. Wonderful. C-Dad and Stonecrest, thanks for the follows on TikTok. I appreciate that. All right, so let's tackle this first thing. This first thing is pretty much just a repetition of what we have over here on the dinner plates. So what I have to do is put a cutter in there, like that. All right. So is that going to accept that as an orientation? That's actually something we got to check out here. This is called Shapes 2. Yes, it does accept that, as long as you have one. It's called Shapes 2, and it is a very unique game, CDAT. I was just saying earlier, it's basically a 3D Factorio without... without resource management. Like, I don't need to worry about having steel or, you know, coal or power management. It's literally just all about production management. All right, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete all this. Use Shift plus to delete an entire area. Thank you. Boom. Done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some more extractors because 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nope. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. There we go. And then there we go. You guys come down in here and feed that belt. Thank you. All right, it can't launch now. Okay. So we got that going on. This could get complicated really fast. I think it looks fun though. See that I have seen people playing much more complicated versions of this. Yeah. Complicated doesn't begin to describe what this game how this game can get. All right, I am going to take one of these. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm going to come over here and what was it? Shift. Oh, shift. There we go. That's what I was going to do. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to take this. Come down here. I'm going to take this and come down here. This guy's going to come down this way. That I'm setting these two lines up for this first one here. So let's think about this. So basically we need to take these and stack things on them. So just for ease, I'm going to pin myself here. They're using 1, 2, using 6, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So then oh, that's neat. Okay, hold on a second here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this up here like so. And we're going to just go like that. Take the second one. Do that. Oop. There we go. All right, so those are moving on their way. And then this wants a plate on top of a cube. So cool. Okay. All right. So we go down there. Supposedly that's like a lift? Is that a lift? Doesn't look like a lift. Oh, belt launcher? Nope, that's not a lift. Yep, that's not doing it. Hold on. So how does this... Hold on. How did they say it? You go up? Another game, a little in the mix, a kind of city builder factory thing I think you would like is Planet Crafter. I have Planet Crafter. I do like that. Planet Crafted or Planet Crafter? All right, see that? I'm sure you're long gone by now, but thanks. How do you get up? Wait a second. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. That was the problem. So you have to do it while you're dragging. Okay, a little bit of... I like how simple the connections are. Like, you don't need to use splitters or anything. I like that this is just kind of built into the game. Built into the process of making a conveyor belt. All right, so do we have what they're looking for? Yes. I would say we do. So now we've got 4 belts. Actually, I don't think I even need to use... Research points are awarded for completing side tasks. Oh, okay, cool. Cutting step by step? Interesting. Okay. Pin the tasks you want to work on, making them always visible. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So this is more than just tasks. This is... Yeah, this could be... Let's see how many things this could be. Oops. There we go. Can 3 be 1? 4 be 1 in this case? Yeah, I don't think that's saturating the belt at all. No, not at all. I think 6 to 1. Yeah, I think it's 6 to 1 here. Text my wife here. Yep, so it is. Looks like it's 6 to 1. Good boy. Phantom Kitty is passed out right here. How does that mean? Yahoo's is meant in a positive manner. Y'all crazy but fun, and chatters as in, you know, actually bloody chat. You confuse me, Den. I don't see a problem with the word Yahoo's there. Den, what are you saying? Okay. So now we got to do some other... We're going to do some other boxes here. So let's just do some extractors. Go. Okay, so they want halves. They want a quarter on a quarter. So that means we got to take these. And we got to cut them. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We gotta cut them. We gotta flip them. I believe we have to flip. We have to cut them and flip them and cut them again. No. No, 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 no. Wait. Yes. We gotta cut them here. Right? Yep. All right, so now we have one. And then we need to do stacker. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Give myself some space to do this because I don't know how tight I can make this. Giggity. So we take one set of 3 here. We go like that. All right, and then we go, we take this. Hold on, what are these coming at? Yep. That gets preserved. All right, then we go like that. That's what it looks like it's about to happen, folks. I believe we're going to get this. I think it tells you. I think that's what that little thing shows you is going to happen. All right. And then, just going to send them right off. And I think that's it for that one. Yep, that's counting those. All right, then these. These actually need to get cut. And then launched. Cool. All right, so we got that going. Now we've got two things over here we can work on. With these, what do we have over here? More circles? Is that what it is? Yeah, more circles over there. Line circles. You got more squares over there. Cool. Okay. All right, so for this simple one, we just need to stack. That's all we're going to do. Simple little stack action. Staction. So we're going to take all right, there's that. That is so neat. You can make that so space efficient. That is really, really neat. All right, and we're making the stacked plates there. Excellent. Then we can just take these right off and go boop. And launch them out. All right. Making pizza pies. All right, might as well get working on these other things too here. What is this? These are squares, and we need, and these are circles. All right. So for one set of these squares, we need to stack some squares. That's pretty simple. So we're just going to go all out here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take this. All right. Just jump these across. Great. Now, really all we need to do for these is mimic what we did over here with the dinner plates. So we take the stackers, flip them. We're going to give a little bit more space here. 6. This guy's going to go this way. Actually, no. You're going to go there. Like that. Okay. This, I'm going to send up. Anchor. Anchor. And do that. All right, and go back down. Yep, and it looks like we're good to go there. Then I'm just going to take these. And just line them all up and send them all out. Cool. Oh, no, wait. I don't want that going there because... There we go. Really good at automatically detecting what needs to be done to have the flow go. So this one's gonna be curious. Maybe is it? Could I be wrong here? Could it be 4 per one of these? We're gonna try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. We got some plates going there. Now we got to do a triple pyramid. Or a triple stack or whatever. So let's see here. All right. So really one of these, I just need to do a stack. So we can do something like 5 of the original. Okay. This is where it gets fun. Okay. So we got that, and then we need to take this up a notch. All right, so we got those going. Let me see what happens here, because I want to make sure I'm not shortchanging myself product, so to speak. All right, so that one's actually done. Okay, so that one's already actually done. So what we can actually do here is we can yeah, we just need to delete this for a second. Let those clear out. Delete that one, put it back. And then these need to come up here. that. And then these. Need to get fed on top there, I believe. We'll see here in just a second. Yep. All right, there we go. And that's the stack. Yep, that's the stack. Shadow Ninja! You have to respect the pastrami. You live! Yes, the god of pastrami is here. Back in the days when we'd ask Shadow Ninja what he was doing, oh, I'm smoking 50, 60, 100 pounds of meat in my backyard. Those were the days. All right. And we started that one right there. And believe it or not, folks, I think that's where I'm going to end it tonight. I got to get some sleep tonight. It's 12:30, and my kids are still asleep. So I'm going to go get some sleep. Thanks, everybody, for joining me on a little bit of a different stream. We chilled out tonight. We chatted. We had some fun. We joked around. I'll be back Monday, probably with some War Thunder. Maybe something different, but probably War Thunder. Hope to see you Monday. If I don't see you Monday, I hope to see you at a future stream. Shadow Ninja, it was good to see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks to everybody else for stopping by. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones.